The moment you ask the state to abdicate its separation and choose your Christian morality that you think it is the moment it becomes Christian nationalism.
It doesn't matter. What the key
yes,
point
it does.
is
That is the fucking full point of the poem.
Okay, that's fine.
Then you are
so what,
getting rid of secularism.
So the red herring of, well, you don't have
There's
the
no
true
red herring here.
Christianity
Nice try.
is irrelevant. The point
There's
I'm
no
trying
red
to
herring.
make, the point that I'm trying to make is this.
All right, well, let's go back to Circa. Trying to see what a good point is. It gets really good. Like, well, the whole debate was retarded, and it was pretty much the same. I'm trying to think of when it gets really retarded. It might have been during the Q&A. I would have been flipping my shit to you. Violets are blue. No, stupid. Was that Circa's mom? Probably. Yeah, Mom, thanks. You really showed him. Or no, that wasn't even his laugh. His laugh was like
Violets are blue.
I mean,
damn.
Of all the ridiculous shit tonight, like to just hear someone's like, Rob, you're saying official state religion is secular. Yeah. If you don't have an official state religion, you're secular. Yeah. And the Soviets didn't have an official state religion. Yeah. Therefore, they can't be secular. No.
Yeah.
No, that's the definition.
That's another thing that these freaking secular, like these secular humanists or whatever do. Like, they'll always do that. They'll always be like, well, that wasn't really secular humanism, or that wasn't secular. Like, pretty much when it's good, oh, that's secularism. If it's bad, well, that's not real secularism. They always try to weasel their way. I've seen a bunch of freaking secular people do that. Well, that wasn't real secularism then. It's like, well, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, you jackass? Not truism, yeah. What if I told you there are roses of other colors? Her surprised Pikachu face. She's a grad of the Brian Shapiro School of Debate. Yeah. Yeah, buy my debate courses. Yeah, send me a few $1,000s. I have some loan sharks I got to pay off. Yeah, the first and only course that you need. Basically, whatever argument that they give you, all you got to do is just say, yeah, but Donald Trump, 34 count felon. Works every time. That's the only thing you really need to master. And then if that still doesn't work, demand to take their shirt off. Demand that they take their shirt off. And if that still doesn't work, ask to see their penis. Gets them every time. There you go. You just completed the Brian Shapiro School of Debate. Grad of Brian Shapiro's Leering Center. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you always also bring up January 6th, too. That always works. Easy after this was like roses or red lemons or sour, spread your legs. Give me half an hour. Gross. Destiny's new queen is not Sarah anymore. It's this grandma. Yeah, I know, right? She's going to be joining the panelverse now. I wonder what Shapiro's strategy will be when Trump isn't in office, dude. I know. I argue with a stroke victim on the daily, and these people make that person look like Mensa scholar. But violets are blue. Stop running, Rob. Rob. That's another strategy in this debate course that you'll learn. Just say their name over and over again until they stop talking, and then you can continue pointing out how bad Orange Man is. So if Rob, for instance, is bringing up an argument about how Donald Trump actually didn't do bad thing, or about how Joe Biden did something, I would go like, Rob, stop spurging, Rob. And then when he finally gives up with trying to make his point, because he sees that I'm not paying attention and I'm just saying his name over, then I go, yes, but Donald Trump did this. Works every time. Rob. V1 Vic, V1C, Rob, calm down. You know what, Rob? Donald Trump is a 34 count felon and doesn't like violets. Yeah. How can you ask me a question of what color roses are when you have Donald Trump, who is a 34 count felon, never bought roses for Melania or any of his ex-wives? In fact, he cheated on his ex-wives. How could you sit here and ask me such a question like that when you have Donald Trump, who is in the White House? He is the president of the United States, never even bought roses for Melania. Melania is a whore, by the way. B1C, yeah. Yeah, Brian Shapiro debate course university. You know, that should be a parody. That should be a parody video. Brian Shapiro debate courses. That is crazy accurate, Vic. Yeah. You know what I hate? Trump. Yeah. Stupid Brian Shapiro. R0B. Yeah, R0B. Okay, we got to find a good spot to come in at here. All right, let's see. You know, it got pretty spicy during the Q&A part. I don't even think they got through. I don't even think they got through my super chat when I just told. I don't know. They would linger on. Oh, actually, they did get to it.
Or harsh, but YouTube won't let me. W Rob and W Easy. Thank you very much, Cool Vic.
Well,
I'm sure you guys will catch the review of this on Cool Vic's at some point.
Oh yes, indeedy do. Yes, indeedy do.
Read those reviews. I'll actually
yes,
watch
he
it.
does very good debate reviews. So go check it out after.
Cool. Yes, it is cool, Circa. So be ready. Be ready. You're not going to have fun watching this. I'll tell you that. All right, let's go here. All right. Well, we could start here. Like I said, this whole debate was pretty much the same. It was. We'll start here, where you can see that Rob is already feeling the fatigue. Let's go.
I mean, you'd see the silliness of this.
It's
You're
not-
using
it's
the
not
term
that silly.
secular, which the word religion is part and parcel to what secular means, and you don't know what religion is.
He asked me for my definition of it right now.
Yes, I would think that you would be
It's
prepared
not
for that
relevant
coming
to the
into this
prompt, Rob,
debate. I'm
and
ashamed
whatever
I
you're
didn't
trying
ask
to do
you.
right now is not really good.
I'll leave the audience judge for themselves whether they want to listen to someone who's advocating for secularism, which means governing without religion, who can't define what religion is. Now you
All
see
it
the
is
problem.
me-
You see
All it
the
is, Rob, is
problem.
me allowing myself to not have all the answers, unlike yourself. So just relax.
So I will say that the real reason this matters is you can quickly see how people with this mentality.
My favorite part, by the way, and it comes up somewhere during this Q&A, where Rob pretty much goes off on him. Like, he goes off on him, and it was so sweet. That's actually what inspired me to write the super chat, because I was also getting so frustrated just watching this guy. I couldn't imagine Rob having to deal with them for how long. This was already like 3 hours and 16 minutes. 3:16. And yeah. And so he's fatigued, and understandably so.
Right, will be able to just outright ban and disregard things that they disagree with. He even said it throughout the debate at some point. He said, well, I just disagree. I think that that's wrong. So you can see here, he doesn't even have his terms. He's advocating for an exclusion of religion in being involved in our politics, and he can't even define religion. That means
Rob,
he'll be okay.
Where did
Trust
you
me,
introduce
bro.
us in the debate?
Is this where he defines religion as believing of the supernatural? Oh, of course. Oh, believing in the sky daddy. Yeah, believing in the supernatural. And then he thinks he owns Rob because Rob compared having a cross in the classroom to a pride flag.
If it's so integral to the debate, why didn't you bring it up, Rob?
It's a great point. I'm ashamed that I didn't ask you to define it.
Exactly, because it's not. So
oh,
we
it's
can move on.
definitely important, right? And like what you can see is all of a sudden things that many of us would, by some definitions, consider religious, and we're like, sure, let's get that out. He'll be like, no, those are left-wing causes I agree with, so they can stay.
I
They
get
can
it. You need
stay.
to find something
I don't consider
to
them
really
religious.
try and bad faith argument on it. It's just not good, dude.
It
Just do something
allows
else.
them, when he
It's not
can't
good.
define this, when he can't define what it'll allow him to do,
I mean, I can
is
attempt to. I just
anything,
didn't like what I
anything
was
that the
saying,
rest
Rob.
of us might say, wait a minute, that's a left-wing religion, we want to get rid of that. He'll say, no, I don't believe that's religion. It's okay to govern
Rob,
that way.
I didn't like my own definition as I was saying it. I can define religion, probably not to the degree of what I would like right now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sorry,
that okay with you?
Sorry, I assumed.
Is that okay with you?
I'm so sorry.
Is
You're
that-
right. Excellent lesson. Did you
If
define
you
your
assumed,
terms?
you would have brought it up in the debate, Rob, or else you're just saying a self-report of how stupid you are right now.
No, I should have. I did
Aren't
bring it up in
you?
the. No, I am saying that I
You're
should have.
not? If it was so integral, Rob, you would have brought it up, I thought.
I am admitting that I should have brought it up. I did bring it up on sort of an
Okay,
outlier
thank you.
stance, not asking for a specific definition.
I'm pretty
When
sure
I
said
talked
it's like a
about,
supernatural-
listen, are you gonna
supernatural belief in
you made a
supernatural,
point?
right?
You made a point.
A
Will you let me
belief in a
finish?
supernatural power. Is that not good enough, Rob? I don't think it's good enough.
Okay, you get it all.
That was another thing. He kept interrupting like nonstop, and he was like, but Rob interrupted me too. Yeah, but dude, you interrupted him way more Like you interrupt, if we had to count for every time Rob interrupted you compared to when Circa interrupted Rob, like it would be without a doubt, Circa would be the one winning that. He interrupted way more, but both sides.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
my definition,
Okay.
I did say it, a belief in a supernatural.
All right, let Rob answer.
Okay, all right, got it all out. So you can see when I was talking about things that were specifically I
Oh
thought were
my
religious
fucking
from the
god!
left.
Just answer the fucking definition.
Did you get it all out? You
Quit
good?
fucking yapping and then answer the definition I gave. If my definition is not good enough,
Did you get it all out?
Let
no,
Rob
I
get
just
it
want you to,
out.
I want you to engage with what's actually being said, Rob. You like fucking scurry away like a little rat, dude. Just I told you a belief in the supernatural. So tell me
Did you get-
exactly.
did you
what's
get it all
wrong with that.
You let me know
What
if
is
you got
wrong
it
with
all
it?
out.
I did.
All right.
Now answer it.
Okay, so when I brought up, for example, in the specific debate, when I said things that are left wing that I thought was religious, and he goes, no, they're not. Right? That was me sort of showing that like he's going to be subjective as his interpretation of what a religion is. Now he's given one definition of religion, and as he did throughout the debate, he defines something or makes a claim for something, immediately gets pushback on it, and then changes. So here now he's given a definition for religion. Now he's changed it. So just to be clear, your current definition of religion is quote a belief in a supernatural power.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, I didn't say it was
Right.
good enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
so for example,
Yeah, he also interrupting because he thinks he's so right. Yeah, that was another thing that I think that's what made it so. It wasn't just that he was retarded. It's that he thought Rob was the retarded one when Rob was actually pointing out his retardedness, and then so he would get so smug and condescending and act like such a prick about it. He was acting like such a prick for a guy who was like so completely wrong, and that's what made it even more irritating.
if I believe ogres exist and they're magical,
Oh, good.
Oni exist, is that my religion?
It could be. It's
But
probably
it's
not
not
that organized.
necessarily.
No, it is to you. It's just not
No,
organized.
that's not
like
true. I could
Christianity.
believe supernatural things exist, and that's not religion. I could believe ghosts
Sure.
exist. That's supernatural. Doesn't mean that it's religion. There are plenty of
Sure.
people that call themselves atheists that believe ghosts exist.
Okay,
So your definition sucks again.
I guess. I mean, if we recall, Rob, where does trans people get included in this? Didn't the Pride?
Oh yeah, so this is where he starts thinking he's cooking because he's like, "Oh, but Rob, didn't you bring up trans people? Oh, so trans people are supernatural now?" And does an obnoxious laugh like he really owned Rob there when that wasn't even Rob's definition. And by the way, later on in the debate, it gets brought up again. He still doesn't understand why that doesn't work for Rob because that wasn't Rob's definition. So even when he's trying to own Rob or like he just comes off like a jackass. Again, he is such a prick about it.
Flag wasn't that religious? So doesn't that also just mean that your definition sucks ass too?
No,
Where is the belief in supernatural for trans flags?
I didn't say my definition of religion. Wait. So just to be clear, just
I
so
thought
you
you
can
said
hear.
it's a religion, Rob. It's the
Get it all
belief in
out.
a supernatural
Get it all.
fucking
Get it
trans
all.
person.
Okay, get it all out and then I'll answer. You good? You got it all out?
Come on, dude.
Now what we're doing is he just gave a definition of religion, a belief in a supernatural power, which I completely shredded and how ridiculous it was. He admitted
I
it.
also said I
And
didn't think it was good enough.
Did you get it all out? Did you get it all
I
out?
didn't think it was good enough. Remember, I did say that.
All right, let Rob answer.
I gotta.
Okay,
Where's the
and-
trans flag though? Where does that fit in, dude?
He's
Is it
gonna
underneath?
explain what's going on. Just let him answer.
Is it in the Synoptic Gospels or what, dude?
Like Easy literally tells him, dude, shut the fuck up and let Rob respond. And immediately he goes back to talking. And again, he's like so wrong on this point, but he thinks he's not. Like, and he's being such a like a fucking irritating jackass. And then he wonders why I called him unlikable. Like, dude.
Okay, did you get it all out? You ready?
No,
All right.
it's too funny, bro.
Did you get it all out?
No.
Okay, we good.
No.
So now because he had a bad definition that religion is a supernatural power, he's like, aha, but trans isn't a supernatural power. It's not my definition.
You said it
Why
was
would I
earlier.
be
You
beholden?
said
Yes,
you
I
said it's
agree.
a
You're
religion. You said trans ideology is a religion.
I
Trans
said
flag
that.
is a religion.
I said that. Did I say that
Do I need
religion?
to clip it for you?
No, I agree. I said that. Did I say religion supernatural?
Oh, you made a mistake. Should I just sit here for 5 minutes hounding on that mistake, or should I just like not do that and actually act like a real person?
Are you this stupid?
Yes.
Did I say that religion, my definition of religion is a belief in a supernatural power?
Sorry, the irony must have missed you. Let's move on.
Did I say that my definition of religion was belief in a supernatural power?
You said it was trans flags. That's the problem.
Did I say my definition of religion was belief in a supernatural power?
It's a belief in supernatural trans.
Did I say that my belief that
he knows he's wrong right here. Like he knows he was, well, at least I thought he did. I thought he was just being purposely, bad faith right here. But no, later on when they bring it up, he still doubles down on the whole, oh, you thought trans was supernatural. And Rob had explained to him again that no, that wasn't Rob's definition.
a definition of religion was that trans is that religion is a supernatural power, belief in a supernatural power.
You did not. You said it was about trans flags, though. You said trans flags, all right. So how does that get included?
He finished? Did you get
I mean,
okay.
I'm waiting.
So then his claim now is, aha, so if religion's not a supernatural power, and you said that the progressives are engaged in a religion with trans ideology, but it's not a supernatural power. Right, I didn't say that's what religion was.
You said it was a religion, though.
That's true. I didn't say it was a belief in a supernatural power.
So what is it then? What is religion? What's the definition?
I think it's a dogmatic belief, or dogma's not even necessary. I think it is a belief based on faith of objective truths.
So how is trans ideology?
Because they
religion?
Objectively accept it in this sort of dogmatic way that it's just true.
Dogmatic requires an authority. So I don't know how that's possible.
There is an authority. There is absolutely.
Who's the trans ideology authority?
How about the DS5?
The metaphysical
DSM
one?
Yeah, sure. All the progressive academic, yes, the academic and sort of cultural movement to accept and validate trans people against all scientific evidence. Yeah.
Man, you grasp really hard at this false dichotomy.
I don't grasp.
Shit. Why?
I don't grasp really hard. You
Why
can disagree.
Do you the opposite of what you think it.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like, kids, so they're talking about symbols in the classroom that might. Another thing that get irritating about his argument, he's like, that's going to exclude having a regular cross on the wall is going to exclude Orthodox Christians. And so that's why, because the whole prompt is, what is it? In the United States, a secular state is more beneficial to Christianity and Christians than Christian nationalism. And his whole logic, the whole thing he kept bringing up was, well, you're going to have to pick a specific domination of a denomination of Christianity. And so whatever one you go with, it's going to exclude the other sects of Christians. And it's like, even if that is the case, which it wouldn't be, yes, there would be some Christians that would feel, like, hey, that's not quite what we believe in, blah, blah, blah. How is having a regular cross on the wall in a school more exclusionary than not being able to have a cross on the wall at all? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Secularism doesn't allow any religious symbols in the public classrooms or anything. No public prayers, none of that. I am assuming in a Christian nationalist state, they probably would allow some kind of symbolism or some kind of a religious representation in the schools. So how would that be more beneficial and to be in a secular state than a Christian? It doesn't make any sense. It was just a stupid argument all around. And then when, like, later on, like, because Rob asked the chat, send in super chats to Easy if you're an Orthodox Christian, if you would feel excluded by having a regular cross. And then so Orthodox Christians would super chat in and say, yeah, no, actually we use the regular cross and blah, 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 blah. And of course, even though he claims to not speak for everybody else and it's going to alienate, he was just like, well, he would make excuses pretty much. It was really annoying. Shapiro diet? That's insane. That's diabolical. I'd rather have a cross in school than a trans flag. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think most Christians would.
Needs to be. There's no need to.
What are you talking about? The
you
dogmatic belief.
Trans people with religion. I just.
That's not true. I'm not equivocating trans people with religion.
Why
I'm
did you call
equivocating
it
the progressive idea.
Then?
I'm equivocating the belief and the celebration of trans as a
and
dogmatic
you're equivocating
religious
it
belief.
in a false dichotomy because it's not reality.
It's not a false dichotomy.
It's not reality. Just stop. It's weird.
It is weird.
It is weird, dude.
It is absolutely.
It's weird. Yeah, these people, they try to they just think they can get away with calling something weird, but they only do that because they can't really argue it against it. So that's weird. It's weird. It's a false dichotomy. It's weird. It's very hard to understand the guy. It sounds like Me, ma, mo, mo, me. Yeah, dude.
True. And furthermore, it's better than your bullshit definition of if you believe in ghosts, that's your religion. If you believe that there's supernatural stuff that we can't explain, that's your religion.
Bob,
you can't
I'm
even
perfectly
define
fine
religion.
saying my definition wasn't that good. I said that from the
Right.
beginning.
Well, your whole
Yeah.
debate performance
But I
wasn't that
didn't
good, so
call
at least it's
trans
in
people
theme.
religious, right?
I didn't say trans people are religious. Can trans people be religious?
Yeah, this.
Then why are you
not even
laughing?
relevant.
It's almost like
It's
I never
not even
said
relevant,
trans
Rob.
people are religious.
Yeah, and by the way, again, Rob brought up the trans flag because they were talking about hanging up the cross in the classroom or the 10 Commandments or something. And so they were talking about symbols could be exclusionary. Like that symbol, that cross could be exclusionary to Orthodox Christians or whatever. Okay. So then Rob brought up the trans flag, not saying, oh, I mean, even though Rob does think it is out of religion, he didn't bring it up as a way to be like, oh, look, it is also religion. Therefore, he was bringing up to show that, well, this symbolism could also be exclusionary to Christians who see that as a sin. And then his best argument that he would go to counter that is like, well, not all Christians are against LGBTQ pretty much. Like, since not all of them. Okay, because there are some Christians that are fine with LGBTQ doesn't mean that that's the vast majority.
I said the
Rob,
ideology behind
That's
pushing
not
the
relevant. Let's get the
celebration of
next
this shit
super
is a
going.
dogmatic religious
Let's
thing.
get the next super going.
Let's get the super. Good to see you, Nate. This dude is more annoying than First Offender. I mean, he is pretty fucking annoying, but I'm not there yet. I don't think he's more annoying than First Amender. I still think First Amender is more annoying and more unlikable. But this dude is catching up, though.
I know you want to. I get it. You're embarrassed again. Got it.
I'm not the one who called trans ideology religious.
A little meta thing. You notice how you constantly interrupt and giggle when you know you're getting embarrassed each time?
Yep.
You notice that?
Sure.
It's a little bit of a tell.
I mean, you must know what I think.
It's obvious to everyone watching. That's exactly what's happening. Go ahead, everybody, go back and watch.
It's a tell. He's not saying he's a mind reader. He's saying it's a tell. It's a tell due to a pattern that whenever you seem to be losing, you seem to do this action of doing your little gay giggle, your little, and then looking at the camera and wanting to move on. That's what a tell is. He's not saying to read your mind, which again, Circa knows this, but again, like with all these lefties, they have to pretend not to know things, therefore making discourse impossible.
Time he gets embarrassed on something, he goes and just interrupts.
I'm embarrassed for you, man, because you literally said trans ideology is religious. It's
I said
stupid
that
as
the
fuck.
advocates, yes, the left-wing progressive ideology is a dogmatic religious ideology they're enacting.
Okay.
Why
All
is
right. We got Organized Chaos TV says for $5.
Before Easy reads that super chat, let me read this one from Nate. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Hell yeah. How long, Nate? Hey, everybody, hit the subscribe, donate, or swallow Don's lemons. Oh, no. You do not want to be swallowing Don's lemons. That is the job for Brian Shapiro. You do not want to be like Brian Shapiro. So thank you very much, Nate, for all your support. Very much appreciated.
That's like saying a septum ring would be offensive to a liberal. Ha. I'm not sure what they were referring to.
What they're referring to, that a crucifix would be offensive.
Oh, yes.
I must have forgotten when a septum ring was ever some symbol that's important to a religious sect.
Pride flag's a symbol that's important to a dogmatic sect.
All the way back to the trans people. What the fuck?
Right.
Trench.
Pride's not just trans, dumbass.
Trench Deacon for $5 says, I would feel represented and we don't get hung up on it. We are not to make our fast piety a costume or display. So the generic cross is fine.
There's an Orthodox that disagrees with you.
And then following that was another Orthodox says, my family, my parents, and I are all Orthodox Christians. Of the 6 of us, 5 wear a generic cross. These crosses were all approved and blessed by our priest.
Can I ask this
thank
guy?
you both for the
Can
super
I
chat,
ask,
by the way.
Can I ask Sweater, why did the Orthodox cross even come to fruition?
See, so he's telling, so these Orthodox Christians are telling them that their experience and stuff, and so he has to, because it doesn't agree with what he feels or his points, he has to argue with it, even though he's telling them their experience. Thank you very much, Birdie the dog, for $4.99. Got nothing to say, just wanting to show your support. Let's go. We only have 4 more left to complete that super chat goal. Let's do it. Let's see the power of the Coolverse. Thank you again, Birdie. Very much appreciated.
Maybe he'll answer. Can I ask you what the relevancy of that question is?
I mean, if the generic cross satisfies, then why did Orthodox Christians create a different cross?
Because it could satisfy in that it's a symbol, but there could be other symbols that represent
That's
things.
not a good enough answer, Robin.
Of course it is. It's of course.
It's not.
Well, it's probably going to take Sweater time to talk, right? It would be the equivalent of this. Well, wait a minute, Rob, you're a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, right? Sure. And so the symbol of the Steelers represents you. Yeah. Then why did they create alternate jerseys and symbols? Wouldn't that mean that you're offended? Wouldn't that mean that you're offended by the Steelers?
The Steelers
logo?
are religion, Rob. How do you keep equivocating things that are not fucking religious?
It does not matter. You keep
That's only his go-to. Well, it's not religion we're talking about. It doesn't matter though. He's bringing these up because those are symbols. That's what he keeps bringing this up.
saying because it's religious, that's somehow different.
It does matter, Rob.
It's like this, right? If there's 4 symbols for a particular religion, and you're like, hey, we're going to celebrate one of those symbols, your argument is quite literally, but the fact that they have more symbols than just that one's means that those specific religious people will be offended that you're celebrating one of their symbols because you didn't celebrate the other 3. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
What do the bars in Orthodox Christian, what does the bars in the crucifix for Orthodox Christians represent? What do they mean?
I don't know. I'm not an Orthodox.
Okay, so it does satisfy to wear a generic cross within the dominant Protestant America we live in right now. Is that going to, can you say for sure, Rob, use your logic here, I know you have some, that will stay the same forever?
Oh, here's your answer. Here's your answer, Circa. The Orthodox cross is a more historic representation of what Christ was hung on. The top line represents the sign hung above Jesus, and the bottom slanted line represents the footrest.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's a more accurate depiction of what Jesus would have been hung on.
So the symbol itself is something that Orthodox Christians, and I think the 16th century with Ivan the Terrible is the one who adopted it for the Russian church. He felt it was more appropriate, or at least more symbolic of Orthodox Christianity.
Cool. Do they still accept the generic crucifix?
I'm pretty sure Ivan the Terrible did not. He put only the Orthodox Christian cross, or Orthodox Christian cross.
Let's look that up. So then your argument would be,
or else he would have put generic ones, Rob.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
Saying if he didn't put generic, that proves he's offended by the generic cross is absurd. That's an absurd statement.
No, it's not, because he chose the Orthodox cross.
Okay, so just to be clear,
because it's a more historic representation.
Thank you very much, Massage Ninja, for the $5. I never liked one of your streams, especially since you shade, because I wish there was something about you I could fix, you hunky man. Well, thank you very much, Massage Ninja. Don't worry, the beard is growing back. By the way, this isn't the first time I've cut off the beard, but it's been more controversial this time around. But don't worry, I'm working on it. It's coming back. Just give it time. But thank you very much for your support and the $5. We got 3 more to go. Thank you, everybody that's donated so far.
So just to be clear, Sweater said there are 5 of the 6 people in his family, all Orthodox. 5 of them wear a generic crucifix, right?
Yes.
That means because those 5 wear the generic, they're offended by the Orthodox cross, correct?
No.
But wait, then why are they choosing to wear the generic?
Sweater, it seems like, knew what the Orthodox cross represented off the top of his head. It means it's more symbolically relevant to him.
And your argument is, if you choose to display, your argument
is not to you, Rob. I wonder why.
Your argument is, if you choose to display one cross, that proves you're offended by the others.
No, it doesn't. That's not what I said.
Okay, then explain to me why displaying the Orthodox cross proves that you would be offended by the.
It is a symbol to other Orthodox Christians, is it not?
Yes. Explain to me how that.
What is it symbolizing, Rob? What is it symbolizing?
Explain to me how that proves.
Doesn't it demarcate someone from thinking that they're?
Poor Rob, man. How does this guy do it? How does Rob do it, man? Seriously, like I said, he's a warrior. He's a fucking machine. Thank you very much, Massage Ninja, for another $5. Sorry, my dog got a hold of my phone and sent that last super chat. I always liked your videos. Well, thank you very much, Massage Ninja. I think your dog owes you $5, but thank you very much. We just got 2 more to go to complete that super chat goal.
A regular generic Christian or Protestant or an Orthodox Christian?
So just to be clear, Sweater's family, he's lying.
Answer the fucking question. Answer it. Does a generic cross?
What's the question again? What's the question?
Does a generic cross do the same thing to an Orthodox Christian as an Orthodox Christian seen an Orthodox cross?
No, any two crosses.
There you
and
go.
Any...
You answered the question, Rob. Good job.
Okay, so how does that prove that you would be offended by a generic crucifix?
I didn't say it automatically means they're offended. You're just assuming
Okay,
words again
so
because
then
you like to fucking
if they're
make shit
not-
up.
if
I don't
you're
know
not
why.
saying-
It's a
if
you
you're
problem, not a me one
If you're
again.
not, okay, last question. If you're not saying that, why would they be offended to see a generic crucifix, which is what you're
I didn't
claiming?
say they would be offended by it. I said in the public spaces, they would feel like they're not represented. As in
Okay,
they would
why
be
would they
excluded.
feel that way if it's a symbol that
Because
includes
it's
them?
not representative. They might feel
Yes,
like
it
you said.
is.
No, they might feel that the Orthodox cross
this
is
I don't know what to
underrepresented
say.
in public spaces.
I legit, just to be clear,
Oh
once
my fucking-
more. I mean, it's one of these things. I guess we're just going to have to move on after I say this because you can't argue with a
Because you're not
mentally
getting
deficient person like this. It's
You're
one of
just
the
not
dumbest.
getting it, bro.
There are several crosses that the Orthodox accept. Displaying one of them will feel exclusionary to the very Orthodox that say that's one of our symbols because they have another symbol that's not also.
Why would they even use the Orthodox cross then?
Because they have different crosses that represent different things.
And if it's underrepresented by the state, how would that make them feel?
It would make them feel better that one of their symbols
Oh
is
my
now
God.
represented by the state.
By circus logic, then if a teacher hung up a trans pride flag, that's going to be alienating to the other LGBTQ people. It would just be alienating to regular gay people then by circus logic. But I'm pretty sure his excuse would be like, "That's not religion, though. that's not religion."
Bro, you are
All right. And I guess just to add in for anybody who might want to know too, the slanted bar also is raised toward the thief on the cross who went to paradise. Just for anyone out there that may.
By the way, why
know
should
that.
we prefer you over actual Orthodox that are saying what they think?
I never said me, Rob.
Oh, so your
Where the fuck
interpretation?
did you get that from? Where the fuck did I say represent me? I want me in the fucking classroom.
No.
I
Maybe
want
you miss.
my
Maybe
atheism?
you
What the
misunderstood.
fuck
what
are
I
you
said.
talking about? Quit fucking adding words in my mouth, bro. Be a fucking man. Have some fucking respect.
Why?
But the thing is, Circa did that a bunch last time. See, look at this tough guy. Be a man, have some fucking respect. But like he kept doing that too. Like he would go between himself and like other atheists or what have you. You know, like at one point he was like, "You conceded the debate because you pretty much said that I wouldn't have a problem with people practicing Christianity. So I don't. You just pretty much conceded the debate." And it's like, is the debate? Will Circa allow Christianity to be practiced if he ran the state? Like, no, that's not what the debate was about.
Should we
Stop
represent
doing
your?
that. It's fucking dishonest. It's
Why?
disrespectful. I don't get it, dude.
We get it. Good.
I
Bro,
never
touching-
fucking said that. I'm
Why should
literally
we?
trying
What,
to help people understand
Get it
why
out,
Christians
I
should
get
not exclude other Christians.
it,
Why the
get it
fuck do you just assume things I
Get it
say
out.
that I don't fucking say?
get it out. You ready? Okay. Why should we?
Thank you very much, Red Door Woman, for the $9.99 super sticker. Hell yeah. Burr, burr, burr. Just need one more. Massage Ninja for the $2. The heck is this guy's Winnie the Pooh laugh? Yeah, I know, right? Or is that the Tigger laugh, right? It's one of them. And you know what? Thank you very much, Real Rain, for the $2, completing the super chat goal. And I am also staying off of OF. You guys have saved me from a life of degeneracy. Thank you very much. I no longer have to degrade myself by going on OF. So you guys have saved me from that. Thank you very much for completing the super chat goal. You guys are amazing. You guys are real ones. That is the power of the Coolverse.
We take your interpretation of what Orthodox would find offensive other than the Orthodox.
That's not what I said either, Rob.
Okay, so you're saying Orthodox would find this offensive. And then we have Orthodox people saying, no, we wouldn't. And you're
You're
like, yeah, they
automatically
would.
assuming that it's automatically offensive already. I never said that, Rob. Once again, I have to keep fucking reminding you to stop fucking putting.
Maybe I'll help build the bridge here. Are you saying
Maybe just
excluded
fucking
isn't
listen.
always
Just let it fucking
offensive,
talk. You
Circa?
actually
Sorry,
take the
Circa. I'm going to try and build the bridge here. Are you saying excluded isn't always offensive?
Yes.
Okay, let me rephrase then. Hey, Orthodox out there, can you type what the gentleman that just said there? Do you feel would you feel more excluded if schools put up the generic or crucifix
More
than if they
what?
don't? Than if they don't, like the status quo.
There's literally no way you can make that fucking argument, dude. If
Why
there's nothing
not?
there, how do you make a comparison?
Right now, they're not allowed
If
to have
there's
the
nothing
cross.
up there, Rob, what are you comparing the exclusion to? The air?
Is crucifix allowed in public
What the
schools
fuck
right
is
now?
this, dude? What am I
Are
fucking
crucifixes
doing?
allowed in public schools right now? Are
No,
crucifixes allowed?
not on behalf of the
Okay,
state.
so then what I'm
No.
comparing is the state saying you can't have a generic crucifix up versus a generic crucifix being up.
The
Would
state
you
is
find
saying you
it
can't
more
favor
exclusion?
a
Would
certain
you
crucifix.
as a that's what I'm comparing. So I'm asking an Orthodox, would you feel more excluded with the generic crucifix up than the status quo?
Which is
Simple.
nothing.
Right?
How do you have more exclusion from nothing, Rob?
Sweater
Don't
says I would
feel
not feel excluded.
Wow.
That's fine, but let's logically take this to its end, right? How would you feel more excluded from nothing?
Circa is not doing too well. And thank you very much, Massage Ninja, for the big $20. Wait, there's an OF goal? Undo, go back. Sorry, there is no going back now. But thank you very much, Massage Ninja, for the 20. Hell yeah, getting that new goal started off right. Thank you very much, brother.
Rob?
Because you're not allowed to have your symbol up right now.
So it doesn't favor a particular religion.
But you're not allowed to have your symbol up, and now you're
allowed
to
to
have
wear
one
one
of
on your
symbols.
person, right? You're allowed to wear one on your person. You're able to tell other people that you are a Christian,
The
right? As a
status
teacher.
quo- the
The
status quo-
government just cannot spend money on a cross,
yeah.
Rob.
Let's say that you have 4 crucifixes that your religious use.
If there's
Status-
an absence of it, how do you feel excluded from it? You idiot.
Because it's not there, you're not allowed to have it.
It's not mandating the absence, though. It's not mandating that you
it's
can't
exactly
do it. No, it's not
Yeah, it
mandating
is
you can't
mandating
do
the
it, Rob. You
absence.
idiot. You can't feel excluded.
You idiot. In a secular society, yes, it would mandate that you're not allowed to have the crosses in the classroom. So how would having a regular cross be more exclusionary to Christians than not having the cross at all?
Excluded from nothing.
It is mandating that you can't have crucifixes hanging up on the wall.
Paid for by government dollars.
Okay, now that mandate is lifted and a crucifix is allowed up there.
And now 90% of the classrooms have regular crucifixes. How is the Orthodox Christian who actually
I'm an
knows what the Orthodox
Christian.
cross means, are they going to feel excluded?
No, that's what he
Are
just
you
said.
Sure?
Yes,
He
that's
said
what
right
an
now.
actual
He's
Orthodox
not
man,
understanding. I'm
an
sorry.
actual
Oh,
Orthodox.
see, so now he's trying to tell him, well, he says that now, but he's not going to know how he's going to feel in like a month or two. Then he might it might just slowly creep up on him. And it's like, dude, what the hell? See, this guy has nothing. Now there's straight up Orthodox Christians in the chat telling him, I would not feel excluded. And his best is, okay, well, you say that now, but you don't really know what you're talking about. You might feel a different way about it the next day. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
Matter of
Man
not
just
understanding the future of
Everyone
what
in
this
my
might be.
chat is laughing. Many of them Orthodox, like,
I don't
of
give a
course
fuck,
we
Rob.
wouldn't feel
I make my
excluded.
opinions for myself. You should try it, you fucking loser.
Wait, so your opinions for yourself as a non-Christian?
Oh, but I'm sure. Oh God, that loud. Very good. But I'm sure if the Orthodox Christians were actually siding with Circa and being like, "Oh yeah, we would feel excluded," yeah, he's absolutely right. He wouldn't be saying that. Oh, do you get your opinion from yourself or blah blah blah? He would be like, "See, Rob, I told you, I'm right."
And so
Stop
you
worrying about
formulate
what
your
other people
opinions
do
of what
and
Orthodox
say,
would
and
think.
start making opinions for yourself instead of being a weirdo, okay? And worrying about trans
What the
people and how it's
fuck?
religious.
What are you
Weirdo.
talking about? If it's
I'm
just
telling you, I want to protect people who are Orthodox Christian by not mandating that in time, 90% of classrooms will have a generic cross. And then over time, Orthodox Christians will wonder, how come our cross is never represented?
their
Is
crosses
that
are
not
represented.
a reality?
One of them is represented.
Not the Orthodox Christian cross.
One
though,
of
the
them
that
is
they care
represented.
for, the one that they
Again,
like, the one that they think actually
why-
historically references Jesus' death.
You're saying, think for yourself. And that's what you're doing. So in other words, we shouldn't
Because
actually.
you just appealed to your chat like some weird
We're
goblin.
appealing to Orthodox people. Neither of us are Orthodox. How could you talk about what would offend them?
I can.
Huh?
Because I
What?
actually wait, Rob. I never said that it would automatically mean they're offended. Remember, I'm talking about exclusion.
Okay. How could you say that? How do
So
you
quit-
know?
By the way, earlier in this debate, he said, I can't speak for all atheists or all secularists and blah, blah, blah. Oh, so he can't speak on behalf of other atheists or secularists, but he can speak on behalf of Orthodox Christians.
Put putting words in my mouth again. I'm actually getting caught up in your stupidity because you keep fucking saying and repeating the same thing. But I never said they're automatically offended. Again,
What do you
instead of
think
talking, listen to words, okay? I am acting on behalf of what I think would benefit an Orthodox Christian. I don't want them to feel underrepresented.
You have no evidence that they would feel excluded by having their symbol.
History says otherwise, Rob. Maybe again, that's a you problem, not a me problem. You need to
No,
fucking
you
read some
have
history
you
then.
have you have no evidence.
History has
that they-
shown the
You have
sects
no-
actually
that
are
is-
born out of Christians disagreeing and doing this very thing, dude.
You have no evidence.
30-year war.
You have
Ring a
no
bell?
evidence. You have no evidence whatsoever. None.
You can't just hand wave that
The
away.
current- I
Fucking
said-
again, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Hey,
Rob.
I'll
Sorry.
let you get it all out. This is why we had the timer. Everyone could see. You could see the direction of it. Someone's spurging out because they're being made a fool of, and that's fine. So you get it
No,
all
it's
out of
because
your
you put
system
words
and
in my
tell me
mouth,
when
Rob,
I can
because
talk.
you have no idea how to
Go
listen to
ahead.
people
We'll
when
give
they
you the
talk.
floor. Go ahead.
Okay, and it's because you have no idea how to listen to people when they talk. You essentially like enter every conversation. I've noticed adding and injecting another word that I never said. Are you not aware of this? Do you rewatch your own videos? No? Yes?
You good?
I'm asking you a
Okay.
question.
I don't know when I can talk because you're just
Yeah.
going to immediately interrupt.
That's bullshit. You've been doing the same thing.
You said both that people would find it offensive and exclusionary.
I never said offensive. I said exclusionary.
So if we
Again,
go back, you never
I'm
used
going
the
to
word
repeat it
offensive.
again. I never said automatically offensive, dude. I don't get it.
Relevant. It's irrelevant to the point that I'm trying to make is you have no offense that the status quo that says
Especially if
that
you make it up. I'm sorry, dude. You're just full of
this
shit
guy
sometimes.
can't-
What are you doing?
This guy can't fucking shut the fuck up. Can't shut the fuck up. Listen, I'm not a how do you say, like I'm not completely against muting people if they have to be muted. There's sometimes it calls for it, and I think this is one of those times. Okay, I understand the concept, like, yeah, listen, never mute or you lose. But I think there are some cases where the mute button is needed when they can't control themselves, when they can't help themselves, and they just keep interrupting even after you've told them repeatedly, hey, you're going to have to let them talk. You're going to have to let them answer. Stop interrupting. And they just keep on doing it. Yeah, you got to use that mute button. You just got to.
Doing?
All right. Let Rob answer, and then you answer whatever you think
Fine.
is wrong after.
you have no evidence that if we're comparing two things, the current secular government that says in a public school, you are not allowed to have a crucifix on the wall versus a future that says, yes, we are allowed to have a generic crucifix on the wall, that Orthodox would feel more offended by the crucifix than not being allowed to have a generic crucifix. You have no evidence of that. We have, to
Rob,
the contrary, actual Orthodox people that are saying, no, I would not feel more excluded.
that's great, Rob. Now, history. What does history say for this?
I
When you favor a religion, what are you doing, Rob? You are setting a permission structure to inevitably fall down an action of law on specific Christian moral code. Yes
Show me
or
a-
no?
no,
You don't think so?
no,
Really?
no.
Then you need to read some history, man.
Show
And
me
again,
in
that's a
history.
you problem, not a
Show
fucking
me-
me problem, dude.
Can you show me in history where we've had a symbol
30
where it said
year
you're
war?
not allowed to have Christian symbols?
I'm not
in
going to be able
public?
to find a point in history where a
You're
classroom is
not.
hanging a
So
fucking
you're
cross,
using-
Rob. What the
there
fuck are
you
you
go.
asking me?
Right. So you're using a bullshit analogy. Yep.
No, I'm not. You're using
Yes,
a bullshit
yes.
analogy.
Yes, you are.
You're trying to like tell
History
me
has not
when you look
suggested
in
what you're-
history and find a place where a cross in a classroom in the United States, I guess. How about the 30 Years' War? How about French Wars of Religion and St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre, 1572? English Civil Wars. All of these were fought.
Yeah, and then I think when Rob brings up, man, where like Christians have been, persecuted and killed for being Christians by secular regimes and such, by secular empires or whatever. Then it's like, well, that wasn't secularism. Again, they're always weasel their way out of it. When the thing does good thing, oh, that's secularism. When the thing does bad thing, oh, well, that's not secularism. It's so crazy how that works.
Because of religious tensions around worship.
There's plenty of
You want me to keep
religions.
going?
There were plenty of secular governments where religions were harmed. And what's this have to do with the cross on the wall
What
and
does
feeling more
secularism
excluded?
advocate for, though?
The removal of religion from government.
No, it doesn't. It does not advocate. It does advocate for removal of religion
I know
from
it doesn't. Well,
government
yes, it
policy.
does.
From government policy making.
Okay. And
That's different, Rob, than what you just said. So
the
I don't know why you're
removal of
laughing.
religion from government.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Yes or no? Does it advocate for
Does
that?
secularism actually promote harming Christianity?
Why don't you answer my question? Is
No,
that
does
you
secularism
laughed-
promote
you
harming
laughed when
Christianity? You
you
just told
said
me secular societies have harmed Christianity. You fundamentally don't understand the
no,
fucking
no, no,
definition.
no.
then.
Yes or no? Does secularism call?
I
for the
answered your
removal-
question, Rob.
No, you didn't. You
Yes,
you
I
continue.
did. You just said plenty of
Hey,
secular
speak easy.
societies.
Don't say another
Stop
word.
fucking
Don't say
talking.
another
Stop
word.
fucking talking.
Don't
You just said
don't say
plenty
another
of
word.
secular
Speak
states.
easy. You
Plenty
answer
of
the question,
secular
so
states
speak easy
have
can
harmed
tell us what your
Christianity.
answer is, right?
Plenty of secular states
Speak-
have harmed Christianity. Is that not true, Rob?
Speak easy. He answered the
Is
question.
that
Did you
what
did you hear his
secularism
answer? Speak easy.
advocates
Go
for?
ahead.
Answer the question.
Did you hear his answer? Speak easy. I didn't hear it.
Not
You
the
fucking
exact
answer.
answer to
No,
that question.
he didn't answer. I didn't hear it. So I'll ask again.
You asked me the question,
Yes, and you didn't
and I
answer.
answered.
No,
Yes, I
you,
did.
you said yes. Well, no, and then you went in a big tangent. So I
Because
don't know
you
what
didn't
your
finish
answer
your
is.
sentence, you idiot.
Is secularism called
The
for the
definition of
removal
secularism
of
means that
religion
it's not supposed
from
to harm
government?
Christianity. It's not supposed to harm.
Hey, how's it going, Alicia? It was more than twice he doesn't mute people ever. I beg him to mute people and he won't do it. Yeah. Yeah. I was saying earlier, it's like, I understand the concept of you mute, you lose. And it's admirable that he doesn't want to mute people. But I think there are times where it's called for. And I think this is one of them. This is one of the extreme cases where I think a muting was warranted because Speakeasy did give him multiple chances to stop his behavior. He warned him several times and told him, hey, could you stop? Could you let him talk? Stop interrupting. I'm going to mute you if you don't stop. He did it several times and he kept doing it. So I think this is one of those times where it's like, it's called for, it's called for. By the way, thank you very much, Massage Ninja, for the $2. I will make Vix OF if we hit the super chat goal. Oh no. All right. Massage Ninja, now I don't want to hit the goal. Now I don't want to.
Christianity.
Does secularism call for the removal of religion from government?
From government practice and entity lawmaking. Yes. From enacting moral code.
Okie dokie. So then when you were like, oh, that's not what it says. That's exactly what it
How
says.
does that harm Christianity?
Because when you remove, there are governments that have removed religion from government and then went on.
That
to
is
attack.
not secular, you fucking moron. How many
Show me
times do
the
you have to say that?
definition. Show me the definition.
If you act on irreligious principle, you are then there not secular. The Soviet Union was not secular, you idiot.
Why not?
Just because you watched
Did it
a
call for
PragerU video, just because you watched a PragerU video and watched fucking Dennis Prager say the secular nation of Soviet Union doesn't mean.
And then they're so smug and condescending too. Like he automatically assumes that Rob Noerr got this info from a PragerU video. It's the same thing like with First Amender. Yeah, you're right. Like he is catching up to First Amender in unlikability. I mean, Christ, like First Amender does the same thing. Oh, you listen to some right-wing podcasts and that's where you get your information from. Like we don't know how to read fucking books. We've never read history books. We never read any books. You just think all we do is listen to right-wing podcasts, and that's how we get our information from. Like these people, and they wonder why they're unlikable. They have an unlikability problem, and that's why they're not growing.
You know what the fuck you're talking about?
Yes, it absolutely means
It does?
it has nothing to do with me talking or reading Dennis Prager. It has everything
If
to me
you
to do.
banish
If the
by
definition,
prohibition of religion, it's not secular, Rob. I don't know how to say this to you any other way. You're just wrong. Do some research. It's a you problem, not a me problem. That's it.
All right,
okay,
so let
in
him-
government, it's in governments that have removed religion from government. Yes, many of those governments have went on to attack Christianity, such as
That's
the
not
Soviet
secular
Union.
anymore.
Define secularism.
That's not secular anymore. And again, you're just being in bad faith. You have no idea what you're talking about. Go read the definition. Come back.
Your definition is unique to yourself.
No, it's not.
Then show me another place that has that definition.
I'm sorry you don't understand what using your own thoughts to form a definition of something is when you're using similar words that are used in other people's ideology and other people's citations. That's the you problem again. Maybe you should learn to think for yourself instead of doing your stupid fucking chat.
If it's not unique to you, and you just said, well, yes, it is, it's me using my own words, then give me the definition from a credible source.
Yeah, and it's also the worst when they tell us, like, think for yourself. When they're the ones that think for themselves the least. They literally are NPCs that just go along with whatever the mainstream narrative is, or whatever the majority narrative. They don't think for themselves at all. So the nerve of this guy. Thank you very much, FB, for the $4.99. But couldn't we use the same argument for secularists? Say they get all their information from Reddit and TikTok. Yeah, exactly. We could. They're stupid. Idiot. Thank you very much, FB. And also thank you very much, Dagoth, for the $2. The Shapirodite supports the OF. Yes. Yes, it does. Thank you very much, guys, for your support. But please, you could stop, though. You could stop.
Semantic language. You know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just saying I gave you a definition in my own words because I like to think about them, but it's informed by citation and academic literature.
Then
Are you fucking thick?
I'll define Christian nationalism as a Christian government that never bans other forms of Christianity.
You're stupid. Your fucking definition in the beginning was like, I like it when people are informed of Christianity when they vote, and then all the way to, I think Christians should govern entity-wise. You realize that, right?
My argument was the same the whole way through, but now I've changed my definition. My definition is Christian nationalism is a Christian government that will never ban any other forms or practices of other denominations.
Except in your initial definition, and we can probably have someone pull it up. You said, I believe that Christians should govern as an entity. I wrote it down. Maybe you can't remember the only things you say.
No, I know exactly what I said. Right? What I said exactly. It doesn't matter what the old definition, but just to be clear, the original definition I had was that Christians should get their morality from Christianity and then inform that in order to govern. They should do that when they're voting, and they should do that when they're governing.
Policy on behalf of it, right? Not enact them in the name of government policy.
I don't know that I said that specifically. What I said was that they should use that to inform their morality, but I don't want a state religion.
Okay, so I said. You're secular then. You are literally secular.
I'm not, and I'm defining. Listen, I'm redefining. Just like you've changed the definition of things, I'm redefining.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have. Religion.
No, I haven't.
Religion.
I have not changed the definition.
Yeah, Rob was upfront about this since the beginning, and he even told him this. That's the thing that's the most retarded about Circa. This is his prompt. This is his prompt that he prepared for. And he picked a prompt that him and Rob kind of has similar views on. Like, Rob doesn't want a government picked religion that's instituted by the state, that's forced upon to the citizens. It's not what he wants. And so yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead because I want to see where Rob just kind of goes off on him, because that was amazing.
Muting people, so please let me keep not muting you and let him answer. There's another good debate, Speakeasy. Keep it up. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that big time. Johnny Dollar for $2 says, support the channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Johnny Dollar. The Wrath of Reason. Why donate to Rob and Circa, you pork eater. Visited Orthodox churches in Russia.
The prohibition of them in public.
The state.
It was right before my super chat. It was. I could have sworn it was like around here.
8. Simply not half. It's not vague. It is literal choosing. You have to choose what you are going to put into legislation.
I believe in the context of this.
On behalf
please,
of your
let me be quiet. Be quiet. I do believe in the context of this conversation, you would say that would be considered Christian morality and whether or not we qualified as Christian nationalism. Otherwise, you would have to say nothing's Christian nationalism because no one has a claim on what Christian morality is. Therefore, there is no real Christianity. So there is no Christianity.
The moment you ask the state to abdicate its separation and choose your Christian morality that you think it is the moment it becomes Christian nationalism.
It doesn't matter. What the key point
yes, it does. That is the fucking full point of the
okay, that's fine.
Then you are getting rid of secularism.
So the red herring of, well, you don't have
There's no red herring
is irrelevant. The point I'm trying to make the point that I'm trying to make is this. I, through what I think is immoral, want the government to make it illegal. The reason I think it's immoral is because of where I get my morality, which is religion. Got it?
And is what your morality that you want to dictate what Christian morality is, or do you seriously?
Why is that relevant as to whether or not it's Christian nationalism?
Because now you're the arbiter of Christian morality.
No.
Yes, you are. The state is now acting on your arbitration.
Okay, I'm a Christian, and I think it would be immoral to punch someone in the face. Does that mean because I choose to believe that I'm the arbiter of Christian morality?
I'm sorry, is that a religious policy?
I'm not talking about the government acting. I'm saying me as an individual.
Is that a religious doctrine that
What
punching
it's
people in
the-
the face is in what? What parish are we talking about?
It's like pulling
It's
teeth
like
with you.
what, dude?
It's like pulling teeth with you. The point is, what
It
I'm
is
trying to
because
say-
you're not making sense, Rob. Your
No, I
analogy
am
sucks.
I am absolutely making sense. So
No,
let me
you're not.
again. It's like again, so much of arguing with lefties is them
I didn't know
pretending to not
punching people in the
understand
face,
simple
Rob,
things to
was
make
a
discourse
Christian
possible.
thing.
So I'm
I
going
didn't
to
know
have
it
to
was a
take
Christian
some
thing.
time. I'm going to have to take some time to explain this. Here we go.
I know you're gonna have to go through the parishes and the.
Here we go.
Yeah, where
the
does it
concept-
actually say that that's a Christian policy, Rob?
Okay, let him explain. Let him explain. Let's.
I would love to hear how he can explain that punching someone in the face is a Christian doctrine.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying is we all interpret Christianity. We think that it's an objective truth, but as humans, we do have a subjective tendency to not get things perfect. However, what I'm doing in my personal life is trying to live by a code of morality that I think is Christian. Now, we wouldn't say, that means that you're claiming to be the sole arbiter of Christian morality. There is no difference why that would change if
Oh, you're
I'm
missing
then
a step.
Congratulations, Kat, on a new bundle of joy. Congratulations.
Please
You're
be
missing a
quiet.
step. You're missing a step.
Please be quiet. Please.
Let
You just
him
added
finish.
words to my mouth. No, I'm sorry. He just put words in my mouth again. He's missing a step.
Okay, but
I'm not-
point it
I'm
out.
not-
Point it
Go ahead.
out after he's
Go ahead.
done.
Leave him
Like-
say the step that I'm missing. Go ahead.
The state mandating. I'm not against you using your Christian morality to live your personal life, Rob. That is not something I'm against.
No one's
When you
saying
ask
that.
the state,
No one's
that's when
saying
it becomes a problem.
No
Can-
one's saying
can-
that. I
let-
was literally,
let-
I was
let him
literally
finish.
getting to this point, and I was saying, so therefore, if I advocated for those policies to be at the
Sequencing,
state, so I was literally saying, therefore, if we advocated those policies to be done at the state level, that's not me saying I am the sole arbiter of Christian morality. I believe these things are sin and these things aren't. And I act like that in my personal life. That doesn't mean I'm the sole arbiter of Christianity. And if I want legislatively things to match up with that, that's not me saying I'm the sole arbiter of Christianity. Nor
You
are
do have
these
to choose
claims,
one.
nor are these claims of the sole arbiter of Christianity relevant to the discussion in any way
Yes,
as to
they are.
whether
You
or
have to
not
choose
it is.
one, Rob.
Let me finish. As to whether or
I'm
not
sorry, you have
it's
to
Christian
choose one.
action. It's to
You have to
whether
choose
or
one.
not.
You do. I'm sorry. You can't run away from it. You have to choose one. There's nothing
Let
I
him
can really
finish
tell
and
you
then
otherwise.
point it out, though. Why is that so hard?
He already finished. He repeated
No,
the
he
same thing
didn't
3
finish.
times.
He was
Yes, did.
clearly
He said
still
it's
talking.
irrelevant to have to choose them, man.
That time it was 28 seconds. I have the timer up. I'm doing it each time now
Damn.
because, like, the
Easy bringing the receipts. Bringing the receipts saying, hey, I've been timing. You interrupted him at this time. Boom. Look at it. Even showing that right there. Take that, Circa, you chump.
last time you interrupted every 15 seconds, bro. Just let him talk.
I'm not
And you're
timing
saying
him
he's
interrupting.
doing it plenty. He hasn't done it. So I don't like you
Okay,
can
well,
play this back, bro. I'm
gonna
a
take
fair
your word that you're
moderator.
being very fair
It's
here,
not
okay?
like
Fine.
that. So just
I'm not
let
gonna-
him talk,
I'm not
and then
gonna
you
call you
can
out.
take as long as you need to answer.
No, I want to say, can we spend less time on this like contextual nonsense and then
yeah, what
engage
you're
with
doing
something?
is, again, we've gotten a 20-minute tangent for nothing. Because if we take to the logical extension of what you're saying here is, oh, Rob, you're not the arbiter of Christianity, then I would say, fine. Then you can't say that me wanting these things are Christian nationalism because it's not real Christianity, according to you. I'm not the arbiter, so it's just
I never
Rob's
said that.
morality. It's
Dan, I
just
never
Rob's.
said that.
It's Rob's morality, therefore it's not Christian nationalism. Each
I never
Christian.
said it's
let
not
me
true
let me finish.
Christianity.
Let me
No,
finish.
you putting
Let me
words in my
finish.
mouth
Let me
again.
finish. I don't care if
Why
you
is
said it.
this
It's
so
the
hard,
logical.
man?
It's
Just
the
let him
logical
finish and then
extrapolation
point
of
it
what
out
you're
You're being
saying.
dishonest.
It's
You're
no
being
one.
dishonest.
Listen,
But point it out after. That's fine. If you think he's being dishonest or whatever he's wrong
Should I
about.
set my fucking alarm clock for 3 a.m.?
yes, set it for 3 a.m. That sounds great. You'll get through it if you just let me.
Dude,
I
If you
mean,
just let me, I'll get through it.
yeah,
It's
if you just
absurd.
let him get through it. Like Rob talks
Fine.
faster than anyone I know, dude. So I don't know what you mean. He's not.
that means he
taking
should be
long.
able to do it quick, though, right?
Yeah, so
I'm
just
trying,
let him.
and you keep
let
interrupting.
him. Let him. Like I'm telling you, this is craziness. Come on, let him talk, bro.
The point I'm
Fine.
trying to make is he's in a double bind here. And one, if he says, oh, well, only objective morality questions whether or not something would be Christian nationalism, then I could say, well, since no one has the objective morality, there is no such thing as Christian nationalism. Or counter, we could say if people are advocating for things that are informed by their morality that they get from their religion that's Christian, we would call that Christian nationalism. Fine. That's what I've been operating under. Him saying,
The thing is, I don't even think Circa's like freaking listening. I think he's just waiting to respond. And I think that's why he's getting irritated with Rob. And he just interrupts Rob because it's taking him. He likes to hear the sound of his own voice. And so the longer Rob talks, that's less time he gets to talk.
But you're not the arbiter of what's real Christianity. Is irrelevant to the point that
Like, I think he disrupts more than Craig.
I'm trying to make, which is, if you're
No, it's
saying
not.
that people using what they get for their morality to inform the policies they want is a form of Christian nationalism, my argument is it's inevitable. That's what every Christian will always
Except
do
you've
because they
advocated
get their
for a secular
morality.
state.
Because they get
How
their
long do I have to let
morality.
him go on?
Why
How
can't you
long?
let me finish? It's the last sentence. Because
He's
they
literally
get their-
wrapping up. Just let him go.
Because they get
Bro,
their morality
come on
through
now. Come on.
Christianity. It's inevitable.
It's still going. Like, what? You advocated for secularism with Christian informing of voting. Good job.
Okay, then you get. So then, if I want homosexuality illegal because it's a sin, is that Christian nationalism?
That's not what you said, Rob. You said
That is
if
exactly what I
voting
just
is
said.
informed by your Christian principles. You
Correct.
never mentioned the state enacting a Christian governing principle.
I'm voting to make homosexuality illegal.
Now it is Christian nationalism because you're advocating or favoring a certain religion with the state. It's state religion. You have to
But
choose.
Why
And
is it?
legislative.
Why is it advocating a certain religion? All of my beliefs.
What do you
come
mean?
From, let me finish. All of my beliefs come from my certain religion. Correct.
Okay.
So if my belief is I think theft's a sin, therefore I want it to be illegal, is that me advocating for a certain religion?
It's the government now favoring it.
So then it's Christian nationalists for Christians to want theft to be illegal.
No, it's the government now favoring a Christian doctrine. Is theft okay? Thou shalt not steal. Are you going to really say that that's a Christian just because it's in the Ten Commandments? It's older than Christianity, bro. It's Jewish for one.
What's
It's in
Can I-
Hammurabi code.
Can I try to see something here? I just want to see
that's a
about.
Christian doctrine. That's ridiculous, Bob.
I just want to ask you a question, Circa, based off what's.
All right. I'll find when he just goes off and we'll play it tomorrow. I'll probably continue this tomorrow, and I'll also review when Rob goes up against the old lady, Circa's mom. I'll review that tomorrow as well. Let me know what you guys thought of this debate. Was Circa annoying as hell? Was he annoying as hell? Do you want to see another roasting of this guy? Because I sure do. I want to give another roasting of this guy. I think he deserves it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like as well. Also, make sure you follow Normal America with Rob Noerr. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the Cool Stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.